The tragic murders of Liberty German and Abigail Williams. When Liberty German was only 14 and Abigail Williams was just 13, they were brutally murdered in their hometown of Delphi, Indiana. Welcome. This is Crime Recall. February 13th, 2017 started as a typical day for the two best friends. As usual, they were together as they would hang out often. This day, they went for a hike on the Delphi, Indiana trails. They had agreed to meet with Libby's father at a specific time, but when he arrived and they did not show up, he grew concerned. Authorities were soon notified of the girl's disappearance, and a massive search was put into motion. Relatives and friends were hopeful that they would be found safe and well. Unfortunately, this was not the case, as the next day, the girls' bodies were found not far from the bridge they had been dropped off. Soon after the bodies were found, authorities released images and audio extracted from Libby's phone. In these images, we can clearly see a sketchy man walking in the girl's direction. In the audio, we hear a man's voice saying, "Guys, down the hill." Composite sketches were also released of the suspect. The cause of the murders has yet to be revealed by authorities. Police praised Libby for being able to get the images and audio before her death, as they would be extremely helpful in hunting down the suspect. The case remained active for more than 2,000 days, with police continuing to investigate it. Any information linked to the case guaranteed $300,000 in 2021. The girls' families were desperate for answers, along with the authorities. In 2019, new composite sketches were released to the public. Authorities said the new sketches resembled the suspect more accurately. The public was concerned. The murderer of the two girls had been free for more than 3 years since the killing. Who knows if he's taken the lives of other innocent victims? This thought plagued people for years, and as time went by, people started to lose hope in the killer ever being found. In 2022, over 5 years since the tragic killings, an Indiana man has been charged with the 2017 murders of Libby and Abigail. Richard Allen, who is 50 years old, was taken into custody on October 26, 2022. His home was located not far from where Libby and Abigail's bodies were found. Allen worked in the pharmacy department at a local CVS. Up until now, there have been no complaints or concerns regarding the individual. In fact, his fellow employees were rather shocked when they saw him linked to the murders. Allen's record is pretty clean with traffic violations only. For the most part, Richard Allen seems like any other person, but authorities have released evidence linking him to the murders of Libby and Abigail. An unspent ejected .40 caliber round was found just 2 feet away from the girls' bodies. Richard Allen and his wife made it very clear to the authorities that he possessed weapons in his house. Because of this, authorities issued a warrant to search Allen's property. According to official documents, the authorities obtained pieces of clothing, knives, and firearms, along with a .40 caliber 6-hour pistol. The pistol matches the unspent .50 caliber round near the bodies. Allen also told the authorities that he had actually been on the trail the same day the two girls were hiking, but according to him, he did not see nor come into contact with Libby or Abigail. He claimed to have been wearing a black or blue jacket, which had a hood and blue jeans, and he could have been wearing a type of head covering. As we've seen from the images extracted from Libby's phone, the suspect was wearing very similar clothing. Court documents reveal other important details which may link Allen to the murders. 3 juveniles had been interviewed as they were also on the trails. According to them, they had seen a man who they described as kind of creepy. They said he was wearing blue jeans, a light blue jacket, and had gray hair with a little brown in it. He also made an attempt to keep his face from showing. Authorities had spoken to a woman who was driving eastbound on 300 North on February 13th. She claims to have seen a muddy and bloody man walking. According to her, he was wearing a blue jacket with blue jeans. She had thought he'd gotten into some kind of fight. Allen still denies any involvement in the girls' murders, despite his round from his own gun being found by the bodies. He tells authorities that no one has ever borrowed the gun, and it has always been in his own possession. When authorities ask how his unspent bullet made it by the bodies, he has no explanation. Authorities do believe that Richard Allen was the man the 3 juveniles had seen on the trails, and he was the muddy and bloody man seen by the woman driving. According to the affidavit, the authorities fully believe Richard Allen is guilty of the murders of Libby German and Abigail Williams. As this case has been in mainstream media for years, the public is very entangled in it. Many people have found Allen's Facebook and even brought up a video with his voice comparing it to the voice in the released audio, saying it sounds eerily similar. Of course, the public has no official say, and only the authorities can decide whether the man in the audio is Richard Allen, but you are free to have your own opinion on the matter. Hopefully, these 2 beautiful young ladies and their families can soon get the justice they deserve. It has been over 5 years of police hunting down the suspect, and we are so close to an official trial. If you have any information regarding the case, don't be afraid to contact authorities and tell them what you know. You could play a huge part in finding justice for these 2 lovely girls. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. If you enjoy this content, then please give this video a like and hit the subscribe button.